last two games of the night. I am still Kenos, and I am still being joined by Jeff, and we will see how this works out for these teams as well. Blitzkrieg, as I have said in the Let's Talk About League podcast, and also in all of the games that they've played, always have a lot of potential and always just seem to kind of fall apart due to shot calling in the later stages of the games. Take the Lantern, meanwhile, has had a couple of games stolen from them. At least I feel that way. So I'm interested to see if they're able to make a statement here against Blitzkrieg. Jeffrey, back? Not quite yet. That's fine. So looking at the lane matchups we've got here, Cheney on over there on Blitzkrieg has done some very good plays in this particular split, especially working in the jungle. Ace, of course, being a threat in the mid lane versus Huge. Bot lanes are also very interesting to look at as well. Goonstomp, rather, can be quite a threat at all stages. And it's just really something to keep a look at from all stages. Great Beard of Odin, one of the stronger top laners we have in the LCUS. So hopefully we'll see some good things out of him as well. So we're just waiting for the teams to get set up, and then we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, you talked about that bot lane matchup. We touched on it in the podcast earlier this week as well. Goonstomp, certainly a very, very strong AD carry player, and Andy as well, fully capable, holding his own in lane, even dominating lane at times. So we'll see how.
Yeah, seeing how they work out is definitely going to be the key. As in a lot of these games, we've seen a lot of bot lane action today. A lot of very dominant ADC performances. A lot of games that come down to how well does one bot lane do against the other. And we'll just have to see if that follows through in this game as well. And it looks as though we're just waiting for Blitzkrieg now. Getting some call-outs, wondering if they're all set to go, and no response. So probably just a little bit of last-minute discussion, maybe getting some water. Water is important.
And you talked about Great Beard of Odin being a potent top laner. Darian has generally been asked, from what I've seen at least, to be sort of a tank and sort of to soak up aggression in the top lane for TL. Similar to sort of if you go way back to the Dyrus role on TSM. So it'll be interesting to see if Blitzkrieg targets that top lane.
I don't think we're going to see too much of the top lane target, just because Take the Lantern does have Ace, so you got to ban out Lux and Anivia, and possibly Xerath. They do ban out the Shen, though, for Take the Lantern. That's one of Great Beard of Odin's favorite champions. And we did see him doing pretty well in the last game, too. So Shen's always fun and relevant. But the real question will be what the third ban will be from Blitzkrieg. Swain is someone else that Ace has been playing.
Right.
Alright, so take out the Caitlyn. So they're not too worried about other mid laners Ace might pick. Xerath is obviously a big pick for him that's still unbanned. Unless Huge is planning to swipe that from him.
Now the real question is, has Gregorsaurus been practicing his support Xerath so they can flex it?
Yeah, really.
That would be
Yeah.
Graves ban coming out from Take the Lantern, so they don't want to deal with that in the jungle. And a Kaisa first pick is being hovered and taken for Blitzkrieg.
A lot of Kaisas this week. Really exciting to see. Not necessarily a fresh face, but one that's been a little more irregular in the LCUS in the past.
I mean, she's just so powerful in the current meta. Already was, and then the changes to AD carry itemization, I think, even benefited her even further.
Well, she hasn't quite managed to go off yet in any of the games that we've seen her in. So hopefully this game, Goonstomp can do something with her.
Absolutely. Nami coming out from Take the Lantern. And we're down to 2 seconds. Oh, Mumu forgot to get lucky. I believe he played him just in their games in the last week.
Yeah.
So certainly a comfortable champion there.
Yeah, Mumu's really really fits in with Gotta Get Lucky's kind of play style. He likes going deep. He likes coming from some surprising angles with big impact ultimates, and that's definitely something a Mumu can do.
Hmm. Yeah, Take the Lantern seems very comfortable in their playstyle, which is 2 carries and 2 tanks coming out of the jungle and the top lane. Um,
Last second Taric after hovering the Zoe.
and
Probably not a Taric jungle,
locked in.
mostly because Nickelbacker isn't here, so they can't make him suffer with the Taric jungle. But
So Zig's locked in, so plenty of wave clear already coming out from Team Blitzkrieg, who are seeking their first win of the split. In their defense, they have played one less week than everyone else.
well,
And there's a
then covered.
Xerath.
Yep, there's a Xerath.
There's a Xerath from Ace, as you predicted.
Well, Ace only plays 3 champs, so you don't ban 2 of them. You don't ban 3 of them. You'll get 1 of them.
So there's going to be a war of attrition.
Long range ultimates. Banning out that Scion, another targeted top lane ban. Really don't want Great Beard of Odin having any fun. We'll see. ADC and top lane are still available. Interested to see if what the last ban will be. I'm guessing it'll be another ADC, possibly someone like Twitch. Top lane.
The warrior spirit is never broken.
All right, they're assuming that's not a Taric
Xin
jungle.
Zhao.
Probably a good assumption.
Now you have the Xayah ban coming out from Blitzkrieg, even though the Nami was already locked in, so you didn't have really the Xayah Rakan combination as a potential matchup, but they ban out the Xayah anyways, and the Jhin. So 3 bans targeted at Andy there, and he'll just go ahead and take the Lucian instead.
Yeah, the Xayah ban was interesting. Obviously, she is a force to be reckoned with without her boyfriend. But, at the same time, Lucian has been very dominant today. So I'm surprised that's not in their minds. And if Take the Lantern manages to win with this Lucian, I'm sure Lucian will be on the chopping block in Game 2.
So
Looking at
Gnar and Sejuani.
yeah, pretty durable team coming out of Blitzkrieg. I like it a lot.
Yeah, a lot of front line between those two and Taric.
Yeah, a lot of stuns too. I mean, lot of CC coming out here. Slows, stuns, knockups. So good to help Kaisa not only deal the damage but also possibly escape if need be.
To me, Ace is... Oh, there's the Malphite pick for Darian. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of his more commonly picked champions. Comfort pick for him. So you've got a lot of AoE initiation coming out from Take the Lantern.
Yeah, lot of AoE from Take the Lantern. A lot of initiation. A lot of just straight up damage as well. I mean, obviously Ziggs, Kaisa, Xerath, Lucian, those are the big damage numbers, but Malphite can burst in surprising ways, especially depending how he's built.
And things are going to happen so fast with this initiation from Take the Lantern. You wonder if Chaos will be able to get his Taric ultimate off in time in team fights.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting. Another interesting thing would be to see how Taric's ultimate and Taric's stuns are going to align with Kaisa. Because, like, when she does her dashes in, she's vulnerable for a moment. So those go-ahead stuns could be very useful, even if there's a slight delay to them. Good timing on that could help them quite a bit.
Now you wonder if you're Ace, if you start using your Rite of the Arcane at the beginning of a fight, if you're Goon Stomp, do you target him for an assassination? You try to jump in onto that stationary target.
I would say so. One of the big things with Xerath is his lack of mobility, and that's something to take advantage of depending on your champion. Obviously, Xerath is going to be in the backline quite a bit, and other than Kaisa's dash and I guess Gnar's bounce, they don't really have too much of backline penetration on Blitzkrieg. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems to me they don't really have that sort of a team. So I think Xerath will feel relatively safe for at least some of this game. depending how well his front line holds, it protects him. And he's got two very durable frontliners protecting him. But we'll have to see how the various ults from the teams work out. Malphite, Amumu, Nami, they can all combo together to keep basically a permanent lockdown in a team fight. Tarek's stun, Ziggs knockup, Sejuani's general ult, and also her basic stuns. And of course, Mega Gnar hijinks, but Mega Gnar hijinks are slightly less reliable.
Certainly an important match for both teams, just in terms of the overall standings as well. Take the Lantern with a chance, especially with Northern Storm just going down in an 0-2. Take the Lantern with a chance to really separate themselves from the middle of the pack, jump up near the top. Whereas Team Blitzkrieg, if they want to get into the playoff discussion at all, they're going to have to get a 2-0 at some point, because right now there is such a pack in the middle, and then they're trying to find their way into that.
Right. Absolutely. And like I was saying in the intro, I think that if I had to pick the two teams with the biggest chips on their shoulders, it would be these two. They're the teams that have the most to prove and should and have the ability to prove it. So seeing them come out like this and seeing which one is able to find their footing and make a statement will be something to definitely look forward to.
Now, we talked about earlier, you talked about, gotta get lucky, Amumu being a common pick for him, or that type of champion being a common pick for him. And we've seen Darian play Malphite in the past, and Ace plays Xerath. At what point do you think that Take the Lantern might have to start thinking about changing up their play style? Do you think that, not necessarily...
Well, I mean, when it comes to changing their play style, I'm not sure it's that much. I mean, I think that it's more on the execution side than on the champion design side. I would like to see I like the Malphite pick here. I would like to see maybe more durable bot laners as well. Triple tank I think works really well for protect the team combos, which they can obviously enjoy quite a bit. Skin analysis here. I'm just going to give it to Take the Lantern because I like Project Lucian. And Kaisa doesn't have a skin, so she's letting the rest of her team down. Though Pharaoh Amumu, it's an Amumu skin I'm not the biggest fan of. Don't see it that much. No, doesn't look like you guys are able to see that because alt-tabbing is hard. My apologies. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to. I think talking about playstyle changes for Take the Lantern will definitely come into consideration if they're unable to take a game off of Blitzkrieg here. But at the same time, Blitzkrieg is a team with that kind of potential. But I'm not also sure. Like I said, other than more durable supports, I don't know what kind of changes I'd expect Take the Lantern to make. Maybe have Ace mix it up, play Swain more. Because he did do really well with Swain the one game where he did play him. One or two games where he did play him. Versus Northern Storm, I believe it was. In the earlier splits. But, obviously, Ace's champion pool gets him bans targeted towards him. But it also makes him a little bit more predictable to play against. Because,
Sure.
he's going to play Lux or Xerath, generally.
or Nivea.
Or Nivea.
If he ever gets it,
right.
which seems like it doesn't happen.
Exactly, but at the same time, you've got that mindset of going, okay, maybe if you're a team that practices, you can practice then against the Xerath, right? Because you take out the two... Generally, people are more scared of the Lux and the Anivia than the Xerath. So, you practice against the Xerath, you have a way to counter the Xerath. Meanwhile, if Ace pulls something out of his pocket that you're not expecting, like the Rise, like the Swain, Annie... then suddenly your counter pick isn't worth as much as you might hope. So predictability could be their problem, but we'll see how it goes for them this game.
You have both junglers starting on the same half of the map. Quick poke lands from Ace. Overall, though, pretty standard start.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how aggressive Great Beard of Odin decides to play this top lane. He has the poke, so he'll be able to set the tempo if he chooses to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice piercing light from Andy. Gets the last hit, and it goes through onto Goomstomp. Now, Kaisa, not that strong in the early game, at least relative to her mid and late game strength. So you would think that Take the Lantern will really try to bully things early on in this matchup.
Yeah, it looks like there was an attempt there. Goon is very wisely keeping a relative distance. Gets poked a little bit there.
Early Scuttle Crab, it looks like, being taken by Gotta Get Lucky. Andy dashing in for some quick early aggression. Bubble does not quite land from Gregosaurus Rex. And a pause as Huge maybe having some issues. Apparently he can't see health bars, so that would certainly be a problem.
Oh, come on. Just use your game sense, man.
Calculate how much poke you've landed.
Exactly. Jeez.
So we are in a little bit of a pause here, folks, but early on, looks like things have been pretty standard, as you'd expect. Huge is back.
Interested to see if Gotta Get Lucky is planning on ganking mid here. He seems to be rotating that direction, but on the other hand, he may just be chasing the crab, getting those last couple of hits. That crab's yellow dot, of course, does not move with the crab, I'm pretty sure. So it's hard to tell exactly what state that was in, but he was working on it when we last looked at him. Plus, Huge is not in the greatest position in the world for a gank, though Gotta Get Lucky has dove on Stranger Things. Yep, still going after that crab. But yeah, Take the Lantern is being aggressive in that bot lane. They've not quite as crazy aggressive as some other bot lanes that we've seen today, especially with that Seraph, but aggressive enough that they are really pushing Blitzkrieg under that turret. And Sejuani is not able to help because she's on the other side of the map.
And Andy is doing a great job, I think, of landing his piercing lights.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree that the Lucian play today, from all the Lucian players, has been pretty top-notch. I would like to see a ward put down pretty shortly here, because otherwise, that Sejuani's not going to be near her blue buff the whole game, and you don't want to get chased from behind. Even though you do have reasonable escapes compared to other ADCs as Lucian, you don't necessarily want to waste your dash on that. Pretty gentlemanly top lane going on up here as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
Malphite's regenerating passive helps with that.
It is 22-7 now in CS. So, as you said, Odin certainly getting the better of the early matchup there with his ability. I mean, he is a ranged champion. He's always going to have that ability to bully there.
Not only bully, but also get CS that might be out of range of Darien.
Huge fighting back in this mid lane a little bit. He was poked down early, but now he seems to have gotten back to pretty level pacing.
Yeah, a little bit ahead of Ace, actually. We'll see if Ace is able to land a combo and come back. Oh, does get, get one little hit there.
I do appreciate the way that Take the Lantern is playing this bottom lane, because you know that this Kaisa is going to ramp up. You know, between the sustain of Nami.
Yeah, they definitely have the early advantage. Nami's sustain, Lucian's poke. There is a lot of potential there, especially if this Amumu, after his first back here, decides to start getting a little bit more involved. Once again, we see the mid laners both kind of hanging out. Huge is now at the mana disadvantage. Ace looks like he wants to bully.
Yeah, not only does Ace have the health advantage here, but he has the mana advantage, which is so important in a matchup like this. You've got Huge stuck under his turret.
And Great Beard of Odin actually getting some chip damage off on Darien now. Darien with very little mana. And Odin continuing with the pressure. Darien looks like he's going to possibly ward. No, just checking things out. Both junglers being very passive so far.
Well, it is, I mean, it's Sejuani, Amumu, both guys sort of just want to farm up to 6, make plays at that point, and it looks like they're both very content to let the other do that as well. Overall, not big farm advantages coming in either the mid or bot lane. Obviously, in the top lane, you see a 21 CS advantage now for Odin. And gotta get lucky. He is in the bot lane, but he is spotted out by a ward. And he will see it just die. So they know that the gig is up there.
Good job by Ace having that awareness that Sejuani was right next to him as well in the mid lane.
As you said, both junglers were passive initially, but they both try to make a play there, and neither one able to get anything.
Yeah, good awareness and call out there by Darien, because it wasn't a ward that spotted it for Ace, it was just the knowledge that Sejuani had been in that area.
Yeah, you gotta get lucky sort of behind enemy lines here. I'm not sure if they know where he is. Oh, yep, they're coming up, and he will banish toss over onto the dragon to get out. Simple escape there.
Yeah, we'll see what Cheney wants to do here. Cheney is about a quarter of the way to 5. Gotta get lucky is 5 already. Not gonna have too much in the way of... Oh, we do have a little bit of pressure here.
Oh, jump in from gotta get...
Yeah, jumping from gotta get lucky there doesn't get too much done. We do have Ace head back. He didn't really have the mana to follow up anyway. Also, just so you know, Jeff, your headset is gone from just randomly cutting out to now crackling.
Oh, gee.
Alright, so more pressure still in that bot lane. Nami and Lucian are both halfway to 6. So we'll see if they're able to get any sort of crazy spike there. Goonstomp is also... I mean, basically the entire bot lane is around that. No one has really gone back yet. We check out the gold. It's more or less equivalent on all sides. Good poke damage there. Don't quite get Goonstomp just yet, though. But, uh-oh, here comes Ace. Ace is spotted with this. And he does have ultimate. Spotted super hard now. So either he's going to bully them off tower or Goonstomp's going to die. Looks like it's the former. But Goonstomp is sticking around. Oh, good poke there. That should be a Zerathal, I would think. Goonstomp is incredibly low. Nope. Oh, there it is. Oh, really bad choice there. All the ultimates are going to miss. Yeah. If I know Ace like I know Ace, he's probably kicking himself right now for that. Almost in danger of getting caught out there by Huge, but manages to chase him off. Cheney may have been spotted going over the wall there, so they should know that he's there. Anodyne's getting pretty low.
Oh, gotta get lucky in the mid lane. And Darien. They forced the flash out of Huge very quickly.
Yeah, good job there. I was worried for a moment there about Goonstomp, but they did manage to get the heal popped, and Goonstomp is still fine. Anodyne could be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, the ult misses.
Oh no! He X-Smithied it. And he is forced to flash. Oh no, Huge is so dead in the mid lane. Banish Toss actually misses. Ace is very low, but he will manage to survive, and Darien picks up First Blood with the auto attack. They come back with the 3-man gank just a few minutes after burning the flash.
I would really like to write a note to our players and say, look, if you're all going to go for First Blood at the same time, at least try to go a little bit staggered so I can follow both at the same time. But no, that's fine. We missed the First Blood, but we managed to see them avoid all the ganks in the bot lane. So that was exciting too. Gotta get lucky very low.
Gotta get lucky. Ooh!
Yep.
What a duel with the red buff. Riveting stuff.
Yeah, very low, but he does go back right then. All right.
So Huge, yeah, unfortunately, maybe a little bit of a throwback to Hohenheim, burned his flash out of respect for the first 3-man gank, but then stuck around and they came right back.
See how this bot lane continues to unfold here. Kai'Sa's every moment that Kai'Sa is not being contested, she gets stronger. Once again, we're seeing no BF swords from either player. little bit of a deviation from the Lucian build that we saw in the earlier games.
Yeah, it looks like a Blade of the Rune King coming out first as opposed to rushing that Essence Reaver. But Andy seems to be doing just fine. I gotta give credit actually to Goomstomp. I think he's done well to only be down 11 CS at this point.
Top lane's having a little bit more of a fight. Darien once again at 0 mana.
Yeah, and without his teleport available. So he's going to lose some farm at some point under his tower. Did have a successful roam down to the mid lane though. Picked up that first blood, which will certainly help him in keeping pace with Odin.
Alright, Cheney's creeping. Gonna get spotted. We'll see if it matters. Doesn't look like it matters. Big ult there just to save him. Good job. Maybe not necessary, but better safe than sorry. And you can use it again in 100 seconds. Ace fighting huge. Gotta get lucky coming to help.
Gotta get lucky is here, but he's not quite in range for the bandage toss. Oh, Ace in a lot of trouble, takes a lot of damage. So low, and Huge gets him with that passive auto attack. Now gotta get lucky is in trouble. He's gonna have to flash over the wall. He does get out. Overall, it's a 1-for-0, and we even up the kill score, and the gold is almost identical now as well.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ace to get picked off there. Good job escaping by gotta get lucky though. Because that almost did not go well for him at all.
And a quick switch over to the Ocean Drake for Team Blitzkrieg, which will certainly, you would imagine, help their bot lane with that sustain as they've been poked out. Stun does land on Gregosaurus Rex. He has no ultimate available to try to cut away from this. There is the Taric ultimate to keep them alive, but Andy has enough damage that they will back up.
Yeah, good job by Gregosaurus landing that bubble. That was a very good two-man bubble that helped keep him alive there. Or at least less injured. Looks like Take the Lantern's going to take advantage of everyone in the bot lane.
Oh boy, Andy gets hit by the boomerang. He is extremely low and just gets melted. Cheney gets the kill. And it's a quick 2 kills in about a minute for Team Blitzkrieg to suddenly seize the lead in this game.
Yeah, they were all just hanging out there the whole time waiting. And Andy was not able to see that coming, unfortunately.
On the top side, Take the Lantern does manage to get the Rift Herald, and it looks like they will head up to try to push that top turret, maybe to answer, but first brick goes to Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, I like this decision here. Other teams might have saved it and said, "No, we'll wait for it later." But you know, everyone's bot. Take advantage of it. Get maybe a turret and a half even. We'll see how far this Rift Herald goes.
Yeah, it looks like Shelly will make it to the next turret. Cheney is heading up towards the top lane, but the minion wave will be cleared out pretty quick here.
Yep, alright, so they got like a turret and a half. Really good job there.
Yeah, I like the instant reaction there from Take the Lantern. We just lost a lot in the bottom half, but let's just get what we can. Gotta get lucky. Might be overreaching now, trying to get this blue buff as well, and he realizes it. He's walking away. So after all that action, we saw Take the Lantern in the lead most of this game, but all of a sudden, Team Blitzkrieg now up 1,000 gold and an Ocean Drake.
We'll see. They might be able to get this bot turret. Now the rotations seem fast enough. No, Goonstomp's actually targeting red buff. That could give them the few moments they need to get on that turret.
The danger, of course, is that Take the Lantern doesn't really have much in the way of vision in that bottom quadrant, so
indeed.
Andy would have to be brave to run up on that turret. He's smart. He does not want to. Now he gets the ward down, and Goonstomp is there.
Alright. So well done there. Knowing when to get in and get out. Good team execution here by Take the Lantern. And good just overall team play by Blitzkrieg here. Which, you know, is a thing that they are known to do. They just need to have the objective focus, and so far they've had the objective focus as well, so it's good to see from them.
Yeah, I believe it was you talking about.
Yeah, just talking about their potential, essentially, was what I was bringing up, and how they've been ahead in all of their games in the beginning of it, and then it just kind of falls to pieces, unfortunately. But we'll see if that happens here or not. Gotta get lucky, is in a little bit of trouble here, but Gregosaurus is right there to help.
Scuttle Crab will go over to Blitzkrieg, so they will get that vision. But we're a ways away from the next dragon spawn, so perfect.
Yeah, ways away from Baron as well. We got another 4 minutes on that. Here comes Ace using his teleport to get back in lane. Doesn't quite have the damage output yet to be a huge threat, but still definitely scary and good at wave clearing, as all Xeraths are. And meanwhile, Andy is just alone in the bot lane with a turret that's very low. Decides not to go for it again, though. For good reason,
Yeah.
3-man rotation.
Once again, it was one of those situations where there was just a slight chance someone was coming down to kill you, and he was right again.
Yeah,
Vision battle still going on in that tri-brush. Chaos will clear out a ward. Lead is up to 1.6k now.
we have another Ocean Drake coming up. 2 Ocean Drakes would be absolutely killer at this point in the game, I think, considering how close it is. So it would be nice for Take the Lantern to get this one. Top lane, Darien and Odin are still trading. Darien continues to lose hit points and is down 50 CS, but is not dying.
Oh, jump in from Andy. He's looking for the damage. Cheney is there. I'm not sure if they've seen him yet. Tidal Wave is a good one, and the culling almost finishes things off, but now Gregosaurus is in a lot of trouble. So much damage coming out. Cheney jumps in on him. Andy is almost out of mana. Goonstomp is on the hunt, but he will not be able to finish, and overall everyone just walks away.
Yep.
Very anticlimactic, that.
Zigzalt misses as well.
So a lot of spells, a lot of excitement, but very little in the way of results. Things are still very even in this game.
Yeah, neither ADC really has the damage output one might be expecting at 17 minutes because there haven't been any kills in the bot lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the only kills are on the mid, jungle, and top. So bot lane is kind of a desert right now, a very equivalent desert besides. I mean, there's only 100 gold separating the 2 bot lane carries. So no one's getting blown up just yet. And that's probably when the momentum's going to change, is once an ADC manages to get a kill or 2.
Mm-hmm. And Goonstomp, he's getting very close to that Rage Blade, which is such a big power spike, as we're all aware of. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm impressed, actually, that they have managed to hold on to this bottom lane turret as long as they have, because it's been so low for so long.
Yeah, a lot of that has been because of Andy's very conscious attempts to not get killed. Other ADCs may have rushed and poked the turret a little bit more, and thus been able to actually take it down. But just the attempt to stay safe for as long as he has means that he has not been able to take out that turret yet.
So now Take the Lantern, starting up the Ocean Drake. This extremely low Zigzalt comes out. Oh my goodness, it's Ace who actually secures it. Gotta get lucky, didn't even smite. I'm not sure if that was confidence or an error, but in any case, Take the Lantern does come away with the Ocean Drake, levels it at 1-1.
I'm sure Ace is happy for the extra mana. Second turret goes down now in favor of Blitzkrieg. It's nice split pushing there from Odin.
Now Darien does have teleport advantage, so I would expect to see him go back upstairs into the top lane at some point and try to use that. In any case, it is a... Oh, all of a sudden it's a 2,500 gold lead.
Yeah, those extra turrets are really making things work, but Anodyne just continues to farm. And he's actually got to get lucky as a living ward. So, might be able to get some damage on the turret now. If nothing else, there is a siege minion there. Alright, this is spotted.
Chaos might get caught out here. Gotta get lucky in Gregosaurus there. Andy coming around. There's the culling. That's gonna hit so much. Chaos is so low. Can they finish him? Oh no! Curse of the Sad Mummy is so sad, but they do still lock it down. Goonstomp will be able to kite away, but the turret finally goes down, and they get the kill. Nice play in the bottom lane from Take the Lantern.
Yeah, really good job there. Good Nami ult. I wasn't that sure it was going to hit.
Oh, look out, Huge. Darien looking for it. Oh, what a flash! Great play by Huge, but I think he'll still get chased down. The chickens are going to help. It's a kill. But a turret traded back in the mid lane.
Yeah, good job picking up that turret. Darien almost manages to just get a clean ult, but locks him down either way with a flash trade.
At the same time, you might almost be happy to take that. You know, if you're gonna get the kill anyways, yeah, let him flash as well.
Yeah,
Now
absolutely.
you have Take the Lantern pushing down the mid lane. There's very few people here. Goonstomp can do his best, but there's a lot of damage going to come down on this mid lane from Take the Lantern. Nice rotation.
Yeah, good job poking that turret down. And in terms of the flash trading, I mean, obviously now you can't do as flashy things with your ult as Malphite because you don't have your flash anymore. But getting the flash off such an immobile or relatively immobile mid laner like Ziggs, who just needs his bombs to get anywhere, is gotta feel good.
Yeah, you wonder. I mean, we'll have to track that and see if that ends up mattering, because that flash will be down for another 3-4 minutes. So we'll see if that ends up coming back to haunt Huge a little bit.
Ace is just throwing artillery downrange, just endlessly.
Got the blue buff.
Endlessly pinning Blitzkrieg back. Finally lands a hit. 2 hits, actually. 2 big hits on that Kaisa.
Oh boy, Goonstomp down to half already, just off a couple spells.
And that level 2 ult is available for Ace, and I'm sure he'll use it.
Yeah, you could certainly zone them off the turret here, you would think.
Doesn't look like you'll need
Another
to.
Arcano Pulse lands.
Right. 3 to 3
And the
turrets.
turret is gone.
1,000 gold lead only now in favor of Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, good job by Take the Lantern to peg things back in the last couple minutes, because that lead had suddenly ballooned almost near 3,000, and they've gotten it back very close.
Oh, Darien versus Greybeard.
Darien finds Odin. I don't expect too much to happen here, although things could erupt in the jungle. No? No, everyone will just walk away.
It's a big culling.
Culling
Big stun,
is
though.
big onto Huge. He's down solo. Oh, but they jump in onto Ace. The bomb from Ziggs is not quite enough, but they catch onto Andy. That's 1 carry down, and they're looking for more. The Taric ultimate is going to stop any payback. Oh, what an ult from Darien, though, to shut everything down. Now got to get lucky trying to fire back. Ace with the artillery raining in. It's a double kill, and it's both carries down and the support. Somehow Take the Lantern turns that around. Big ultimates from Darien.
Well,
Big time play. Take the Lantern with their foot on the gas pedal now, pushing down the mid lane.
That's the thing about how some of the AP champions that Ace likes to play. He has a lot of ranged options. So you push him out, and suddenly there's a Lux laser or a Xerath ult that you may not be expecting, and 3 people are dead.
Yeah, just completely turning around the fight there, Take the Lantern. When you see Andy go down right away like that, you think the fight is over, but certainly not.
Yeah, Ace was pretty lucky to get out with about the 200 hit points that he did, but once he did, he was able to get in position to use that ult, and so we see that was a good thing that he was patient with it, pushing that turret, because he was able to use it then. Even though it does have a very short cooldown, I mean, it's almost already up again.
So all of a sudden, Take the Lantern into the lead. We were talking about them almost being down 3,000 gold a few minutes ago, and between that fight and the subsequent... Oh, they didn't actually take the turret, my mistake. But in any case, that fight puts them into the lead, and 23 minutes in, we're having a pretty fun game 1 here, Kenos.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also having an Ocean Drake party, because it's a 3rd Ocean Drake that's going to be spawning in here. So everyone gets health regeneration. Let's see where the next fight comes from. I'm guessing the next fight will be... Well, Ace is going to get picked off here, possibly. Nope. Does manage to back off there. Being a little aggressive.
The Glacial Prison just whiffs. They were looking for the pick onto Ace, but couldn't quite find it. And now Goonstomp getting culled pretty... he actually avoids most of it, down to about 2/3, but he should be fine. Gregosaurus taken down to about half health. Everybody battling over position here. 10 seconds till the Ocean Drake spawn.
Interested to see how the ward placement works out here. Good wards from everyone so far. We do have Odin doing what he does best, which is split pushing and being generally annoying. We'll see.
But will they pay for it?
Yeah.
Teleport is available, and he has his Rage Bar in a good place, but it looks like Blitzkrieg will not try to contest this trade.
Yeah, I imagine that they're going to... Oh! He gets
Oh
it
my
anyway.
gosh! What a steal! Cheney just coming in out of nowhere, takes it from Gotta Get Lucky. Not lucky that time.
That was a mid-air snipe if I've ever seen one. That was crazy.
And Take the Lantern now, they're all heading up towards Odin. Are you trying to collapse on that guy? Oh, Banish Toss misses from Gotta Get Lucky, but they do find Chaos, and the bubble does land. He is about half health. Gotta Get Lucky. Do you use the Curse's Head Mummy here? No, they will not. But Chaos does pop his own ult, so they get that out of the way. take the Lantern a little bit of a consolation prize. I'm sure they'd rather have the Ocean Drake, but
Yeah, stopping that 2 minute invincibility cooldown is pretty good. We'll see if there's any follow-up here. He's doing a lot of damage to Kaisa there.
look at gotta get lucky. He gets into the backline, right at the Arcane coming in, and they annihilate onto Beard of Odin now. He is gonna go down as well. Ace with the double kill.
And they got the Kaisa as well. Really great last second Mega Gnar there. I mean, he died anyway, but that was a nice surprise little burst of health. Ace was clearly taken aback by it and had to use another ultimate charge.
Now take the Lantern, they're gonna take this inner mid turret. The jungler is available, and Cheney just stole an Ocean Drake, so maybe not feeling too confident about trying to push the Baron at this point. Instead, they'll just go for this inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they were in a good position to take these turrets. I don't know if the death timers were in the right place. Still, Anodyne is still not going the new Essence Reaver. I guess he's just not a fan of it on Lucian.
Yeah, that's very interesting. You almost wonder if he hasn't played much with the new Lucian, with the new Essence Reaver.
Well, there was an argument in the Let's Talk About League podcast about how it was entirely possible that Lucian wouldn't be the best with it just because you have to wait for your ultimate to finish or cancel it to get the most benefit.
Oh, sure.
So it's possible he doesn't either believe that he's going to be
Look
able
at this.
to trigger it.
Blitzkrieg starting up the Baron now, out of nowhere. Oh my goodness, this could be such highway robbery. As everyone from Take the Lantern went out back at the same time, they did not stagger their recalls, and this is going to be absolutely free. What a shame for Take the Lantern. The redemption comes out, but wow, nice call from Blitzkrieg there.
Well, there they are. They're learning to do their objective timing a little bit better. Someone's been listening to my fan mail.
So, with everything going Take the Lantern's way in the last, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, it seems, Blitzkrieg just staunches that momentum. They stop the bleeding so easily with an intelligent call there.
Yeah, we'll see how they're able to utilize the Baron buff now. Half the battle is knowing when to take Baron, and the other half is knowing when to use it. Or how to use it. So we'll see if they're able to take advantage of it.
We've seen Odin, jump in from Goonstomp onto Ace. And nice job dodging the Glacial Person as well. Good bubble from Gregorsaurus.
Really good bubble from
helping his mid lane escape. So for me, the Baron buff effectiveness is going to be largely based on, you talked about Greatbeard of Odin's split pushing earlier. And with that Baron buff, that just enables the 1-4 so well.
Yeah, we'll see if they try to take advantage of it. Currently they're all in the mid lane. Really hoping that Cheney does land one of his Glacial Prisons at some point, because he's been missing them all night. It looks as
I'm
though,
surprised that you don't see Odin in a side lane right now.
I think it's, again, a little bit of that shot calling. Another thing is they may want to take the momentum they believe they have from that Baron and use it.
Try to win a team fight, make a home run play, I suppose, yeah.
I mean,
but he also has teleport available. That's the even more surprising part for me.
Well, it looks like it's 1-4 the other way now as Darien decides to head bot. And now Odin's taking advantage of it and heading top. Close to being Mega as well. The issue is that they've burned half of Baron already and they haven't quite done anything with it. So I think that maybe once Odin gets to that turret, assuming he stays in that lane, he's only going to have like a quarter or a third of it left, at best. Possibly even worse than that. So, I mean, this could be another slightly wasted opportunity here by Blitzkrieg. We'll have to see how the timing works out. He actually may get up on turret just as Baron buff expires.
Darien is heading up there to try to stop his push. But yeah, other than that pick attempt on Ace, you really haven't seen Blitzkrieg try to do anything proactive with this buff.
I mean, obviously half the battle is getting it, or I suppose it's
my gosh, Goonstomp poked down solo just from a couple spells from Ace.
I've said half the battle like 4 times here, but a big objective in getting Baron is also keeping it away from your team, or from the opposing team. So making sure that Take the Lantern does not have Baron is just as important as utilizing it effectively. And, you know, as long as Blitzkrieg, especially in a game that's this close, is able to steal it, even if they aren't able to use it, I still think they get the advantage. It's just a shame they didn't utilize it as effectively as they could have. Yeah, this is literally going to run out just as Odin starts touching the turret.
Darian is there to clear things out. So not a great use of the Baron buff, but as you said, with the way the game was trending, you know, Take the Lantern was snowballing things. So to keep that,
Yeah. Now we'll see if Cheney's able to steal Dragon again. We've had 3 objective steals so far today. 2 from our game 1 and now this.
Cloud Drake being taken, or attempting
Big
to be
zigzag.
taken.
Alright.
And Ace will secure another one. So 2-2 in Drakes overall. 2 Oceans for Blitzkrieg. 1 Cloud, 1 Ocean each. For Take the Lantern.
Rumble does finally get the, or not Rumble, Nara does finally get the turret in the top lane there.
I think Darian's done a pretty good job of staying relevant in farm here. He was down so much early on in the laning phase, and sort of I was expecting him to see him get Flame Horizoned, and the fact that he has not is a nice testament to him hanging on there.
Yeah, I mean still 50 CS down, but he also is 3-0 and 3, so nothing wrong with that.
Gosh, that poke from Ace. Goonstomp down to half health from, I think it was just 1 spell and then the Comet.
Yeah, neither ADC is still able to get too much of an edge here. Both have 0 kills. The only reason why Lucian has had a little bit more presence is because he's got those assists. And also because Kaisa hasn't really been in deep in too many fights. She seems to be staying at the edges.
Yeah, well, we saw, I think, in really the biggest team fight of the game so far in that mid lane, it was Andy getting deleted right away, and then Ace managing to clean things up. So it's not surprising to me that Andy doesn't have any kills, but yeah, when you mention it like that, I am surprised. We haven't seen Goonstomp really get into the action so much.
Yeah, I think he had one where he rushed in that was pretty dramatic, but not too much came of it, as we can see by the score. But we'll see. This game still seems like it's going to be going on for probably another 10 minutes or so, if not longer.
Only a 2,000 gold lead, and we all know the wave clear that Ziggs provides, the scaling that Kaisa has. Oh, right to the Arcane coming out from Ace. He's looking for Huge. Will land. Oh my gosh, the snipe comes out and Huge is gone. And we were talking about that wave clear. Well, it's gone.
Yeah, not only that, but everyone always seems to forget how many shots are in that ultimate.
Well, there were enough
Yep.
for Ace in the barrel that time. They get the inhibitor. Baron is up in 50 seconds. Huge will be back alive by then. But Take the Lantern, again, seizing the momentum. I always think momentum is such an important thing in a game like League of Legends. And Take the Lantern seizes it back there.
Absolutely. Yeah, momentum is in all of these multiplayer games, whether you're talking about StarCraft, League of Legends, Overwatch, anything like that. It's all about momentum and advantages. And sometimes you see people lose just because, like Blitzkrieg has, just because they can't take advantage of the advantages they gain. So we'll have to see. I mean, they have been making better plays, shot calling wise. Once again, that Baron buff usage was a little bit disappointing, but they're staying in this 3K gold differential only, very low kill count. I mean, if you just did like a screen cap of this screen right here, people might think it's actually like a professional tier game because of how low the kills are, how close the gold is, how long it's been going.
Yeah, we've really only seen 1 or 2 explosive fights. Other than that, it's been picks, it's been poke, and rotations.
Once again, we have the top laners dueling it out in their own separate lane as everyone else vies for a position by a turret.
Teleport available for both. Greatbeard of Odin just went out of Meganar, so if Take the Lantern wanted to start a fight here, even if Odin did teleport in, he would not be able to contribute his maximum potential.
Good wave clear there. And he's going to get this turret, no problem.
Oh, Chaos stepping very far forward. He is going to go down, gets hit by the Bandage Toss, and there's the Curse Stab Mummy. Oh my gosh, Kaisa is deleted by Ace. He gets 2, or excuse me, 1 went to Andy, I believe, but overall a 2 for 0, and that should be a second inhibitor.
That was an amazing flash play, but I got to get lucky there. That was if we did highlight reels in the LCUS, that would be highlight reel. Got him right on the pixels of that ult. Great job.
Now, it's only Huge and Cheney here defending the base. I'm wondering if Take the Lantern will try to push for even more than just this inhibitor.
I don't think they're going to have time. Chaos is up. Good job by Darian chasing Gnar. So
Stopping the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Intelligent play there.
Yeah, another intelligent play would be getting the hell out of there, Ace. And he does. All
Looks
right.
like he's okay.
All right. Elder Drake is coming up next. Both sides have 2 Drakes apiece, so very balanced distribution there. Elder Drake would be good for either. And of course, Baron is still available. Oh! Ziggs overpredicts. Doesn't manage to do anything to Baron, but they do also see that Baron is undefended currently.
Yeah, Take the Lantern, they didn't make the same mistake as last time. Gotta Get Lucky is there to watch the Baron, so they didn't all go back at the same time. They don't allow Blitzkrieg to rush it as they did 6-7 minutes ago.
Yeah, I Gotta Get Lucky does want to go back though. He's got 2,000 gold.
Minions in the mid lane are about to be on the next turret. Someone from Blitzkrieg is gonna have to go back to stop that. Odin has his teleport available, as does Yuge actually, so both of them could go back and stop that push.
Looks like Odin's going.
And Darian is pushing in the bottom lane. So things are, yeah, the noose is tightening, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a Nexus turret down. That's not good.
Ace heading back towards the Baron. Gotta Get Lucky, presumably will do the same. There he goes. Yeah, things are looking very, very dim for Team Blitzkrieg right now. Once again, in the lead at one point in this game, but it seems like it all just started to go wrong, and then it never went back to going right.
Well, I think a lot of it was that momentum that we were talking about. That Take the Lantern, despite the fact that it was only 3k gold, it was 3k gold for so long. Then again, we'll see what happens here.
Gregosaurus taken very low, has to flash out of the Baron pit to get away from Baron himself. Chaos is very low, he's going to go down to 8, and Cheney is going to get chased down. That's the smite, that's a big deal. Double kill, Ace actually extremely low, nice ult, Beard of Odin, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Darian solos down Goon Stomp, and Huge just trying to do damage control, but all the damage is just done to him, and it will be done to his base momentarily. Take the Lantern pushing down, they don't even need the Baron. This is game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by Blitzkrieg, like I was saying. They stayed in it for a very long time, kept it close, and then just 2 good pushes, and that's game.
As we talked about, it's momentum. Things can swing so quickly, so easily, and Take the Lantern got a swing about 12 minutes ago and never let it go.
Right, gonna hop over to the graphs just for fun. Ace out damaging everyone on the planet by double. He has,
Oh my god.
Ace had 41,000 damage. Next closest was Ziggs with 22. So
Those are both poke champions too. The fact to double another poke champion is just crazy.
and that's also then the underfed ADCs in action as well. Just
Sure.
unable to get any of that damage out that you'd expect because they almost got no kills.
8, 1, and 6 for Ace on that Xerath that game. No deaths for Darian, and Gotta Get Lucky playing those tanks correctly. Overall, a very strong performance top to bottom, I suppose.
Yeah,
for Take the
definitely.
Lantern.
And once again, I mean, shout out to Kaisa, but I'm still waiting to see her do something. So we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll go to the final match of the night: Blitzkrieg versus Take the Lantern, Game 2. Don't go anywhere.